Hello everyone and welcome back to another My Out of the Park Baseball 21 series with the Colorado Rockies, and we're back here pretty much at the first year player draft of the 2022 season, so beginning of June. And quick before we go over the first year player draft, of course the main thing in the episode, I'm here just to go over some quick team stuff. So as you would expect, our offense, pretty good, 30 runs scored, pretty good on base, pretty good in WOBA, just one of the best offenses in the league. And they come here pitching, of course. Pretty much the worst pitching in the league, and pretty much the worst defense in the National League. That is, these are all by league, worst defense in the league. So that's something we got to keep an eye on too, because I've been a little bit bat heavy, and in cores, of course, you don't necessarily always need to hunt for the guys who have the best bats. More so, well-rounded players that could be good, especially in the outfield, in that spacious outfield that you have in cores, with I believe the most land area out there. So it's quite a big bit of ground to cover, kind of keeping along with the team. Wise, we're 25 and 33, which doesn't really put us in position for the wild card at all, and I wouldn't really expect us to do that well. We're kind of in a loaded NL West here, which will probably be a pretty big problem for a while, because these three teams ahead of us are all pretty young and pretty good. The Dodgers are just perennial contenders, and pretty much any series you could play in this game pretty much the whole time, because they're young talent and good team to start with, and then their budget just allows them to retain those guys and just keep the train on moving. So it'll be very hard, very tough to be competitive in this division, but we're sure going to try. Now we're going to go ahead and look at how our guys are performing. But first, we need to go over a bunch of injury stuff. Kyle Freeland, he's done for the year. He hasn't been good in the past few years, and he's done for the year. So his 5 years of team control, 5 years into his team control. So his time with the Rockies could be very well over, unless we can get him on a cheap deal just to bring him back, see if there's anything left after the arm surgery that he'll have. So. But although I'm sure there won't be much left, so we'll kind of see what happens at the end of the year with that. Garrett Richards, he hasn't been very good for us so far, but he got hurt for a while, so he spent some time on the shelf. Almonte, he's about to come back. He hasn't even pitched this year yet. Jeff Hoffman, I believe we already knew about his injury last episode, and I covered that. Scott Oberg, he's going to be coming back soon-ish, so he'll be added to the bullpen. Then Chris Taylor's a guy who actually, this injury didn't really just happen. Actually kind of did happen 2 days ago, but he's going to be on the shelf for about a month with this strained hamstring day-to-day. But of course, with recovery time being about a month, I didn't want to kind of leave him out there and just let him run around and aggravate him more, so he's going to be on the shelf. Decided to put him on there. And that kind of brings us to our lineup. First things first, Chris Taylor, of course, not in center field, as he was pretty much our everyday center fielder. Josh Lowe, he's going to be taking over the center field spot. Pretty much just got 40 ABs and pinch hit appearances, as you can see. He's only started 5 games. He hasn't been playing well at all, but hopefully, he'll pretty much a month being the everyday starting center fielder. So hopefully that'll give him some consistency, and he'll be pretty good for us. Of course, we drafted him as a Rule 5 guy. Hopefully he can be an impactful young guy on our team. As for the rest of our bats, Logan Contreras hasn't really been fantastic with the bat. Not as good as he was last year, but hopefully he can bounce back. Him and Walters have pretty much been splitting time, so he only has 100 plate appearances, so hopefully he can do some more damage with us. That Walters, kind of the opposite position. Last year he pretty much and the year before had career offensive seasons, and it looks like that career lock may have run out. I know he had pretty high BABIPs, at least for him, a guy who doesn't normally make much contact and doesn't have literally any power at all. So we know he's our defensive first catcher, but honestly don't know if that defense is enough to give him the amount of at-bats he's been getting. So Contreras probably will get some more time here moving forward. Cassius, he's been very good at first for us. He's played the whole year there. Jeter Downs been fantastic at second. All these guys, again, are pretty much just okay defensively. McMahon hasn't really played at all. Bobby Dalbec, he's been absolutely fantastic this year, and his ratings have really gone up. 3.5-star player now, so going to be very interesting to kind of watch him. Grant K, again, got another guy, barely any ABs, a Rule 5 guy, but pretty good, at least that on-base characteristic. Very good so far this year with that. Brendan Rodgers, he's been pretty good this year for us. David Dahl hasn't been the monster David Dahl that he was in the past 2 years, but still pretty good so far for him. Cal Mitchell, another one of those Rule 5 guys who doesn't really have many ABs yet, but he just probably keep on moving along with that. Garrett Hampson, we called him up to replace Taylor on the roster. He was actually hitting really well in AAA, so he'll probably get ABs for us against righties, or lefties, excuse me. In center field, and then Hilliard, he's been pretty good for us. I mean, kind of low ABP, low average, really living off that home run ball. Has a few of those, and that's definitely helped us slugging in ISO. You can see there's been about a league average hitter to this point. So also got cut stealing a lot. I don't know why he's. Oh, he actually is pretty fast. I did not know that. 6'5", 250, and pretty fast. That's honestly kind of nuts. He's also a lot better defensively than I thought. So that's also interesting, huh? I didn't realize he was that talented of a player, but he really is. Okay, now pitching wise here, there's not really much to go over. It's just an absolute disaster. Marquez has been bad. Senzatello's been bad. Cueto's been bad. Helsley, he's just started a game for us. He's been awful. Antonio Santos, also been pretty awful. I mean, all these guys are pretty awful, and we don't really have many guys to play with Conine. He was up, and he was awful, and he got sent down. Doyle, he's been pretty good. We'll probably see him at some point out of the bullpen. Again, this is pretty much just, we'll just keep shuffling these guys all year and see if really anything at all could stick, because they've all been pretty bad. So, pretty much sorting by FIP here. Yeah, Cueto, literally the entire starting rotation has been awful. The worst guys by far on our team. Marquez hasn't been that bad when you consider FIP. Been a plus, like, value-wise player. WAR's over 0, so he's playing above replacement level. Hopefully he can get things together. He's supposed to be the best pitcher on our team. I mean, he's pitching like that for starters-wise, but he needs to be much better than that. Rollison, he's been fine. So far, Estevez, then fine. Bowden, fine. All these guys kind of here, just middle relievers, just kind of meh, just like I pretty much expected. Junior Fernandez, he's been pretty good this year. That ERA is a lot better than the FIP. When walking some guys, strikes out a ton of guys. German Feldman, wow, he's also been walking a ton of guys. But yeah, those guys are just having insane, nuts stuff. Then going down here, Joe Diaz, he's been pretty good for us. He was actually pretty good for us as well last year. Again, another guy walking a lot of guys. This trio here has not been very good with the walks. Neither has Rollison actually. Wow, so he'll probably, those numbers will definitely regress for him, at least like ERA and stuff, probably even further, because that's just not sustainable when you're walking that many guys. His whip is pretty sky high. So was Feldman actually. Feldman actually didn't really pitch that much. I don't remember if he didn't quite start the season on the Major League roster. But Gudo, he's been pretty decent for us. So far last year, kind of shuffled between starter and reliever, and if he keeps pitching like this, we're definitely going to pop him in the starting role. Cueto's probably a guy we're not going to have around that long, just because I peeped at the team chemistry a bit here before I got on to do the commentary, and he's just so selfish that it's just not worth having him on this team, because it's really dragging down the morale, at least as soon as he came back from kind of an injury that he had early in the season, which really brought up the morale. He came back onto the roster pretty much, and then and he tanked the morale. So he's going to be someone that we're probably not going to have around for much longer. But Jose Gonzalez here is the most interesting thing of all this season. Of course, he was kind of our big acquisition of the previous offseason, just a stud reliever that we signed to what I think is a very, very fair and beneficial contract to us. But last year he was pretty bad, to be honest. Negative WAR, just wasn't very good at all. But this year he has been absolutely filthy, just like absolutely insane. Whip under 1. Home run's a bit of an issue, but walking, like, he literally just chopped his walks in half pretty much, and I was striking like 16 guys out per 9. he's been just absolutely nuts this year. So hopefully he can continue that for us, as I think he probably will. And I think that's pretty much it for going over the team stuff. Now we're going to get into the first-year player draft, which have a pretty solid pick. We have the 10th pick in the draft. Got all players here, kind of see just what's popping over here. Yikes. Doesn't look like there are many. Okay, it looks like our scout doesn't like these guys nearly as much as the kind of OSA rating system does. Alex Mooney here. Fantastic discipline, so at least he has that tool. But other than that, I mean, yeah, this Brad Bryant guy doesn't look very fantastic either. Bryant literally could develop into anything, position-wise at least. Mooney, I'm honestly pretty much also good. I think I might just take him because that discipline rating looks fantastic. We'll shuffle over to OOTP, see what they think. And real quick, Jim Anderson. Wow, Scout really doesn't like this guy. See, that's the thing, though, because our Scout has the average scout accuracy on this guy, and then so does OSA ratings, which they like him a lot better. This guy's just a bat first guy, and I don't know if his bat first is enough for me to want to take. Oh, I mean, if it develops into what you see in the screen for OSA ratings, it'll be fine. But he's a second baseman, slash third baseman slash like outfielder, corner outfielder, I should say. So it probably wouldn't really be worth having him. At least picking him this early. Jalen McRae is kind of meh. Gabe Shepard. Looks like Shepard could be a starter at least. Logan Bender. He actually looks kind of interesting here, even though our scout just doesn't like him nearly as much. Mike Shichetti or something like that. Wow, I actually don't know what I'm gonna do here. Tucker Elliott, kind of meh-ish. Honestly, I think I'm probably yeah, honestly, probably am just gonna go ahead and take Mooney or something like that. Definitely Mooney or Bryant. Probably prefer. Actually, I definitely prefer Bryant just because his ratings look. I think they would probably develop. Actually, we'll just go with Mooney because our scout likes him. The ratings are pretty similar-ish. So it shouldn't be that much of a problem, I wouldn't think. Wow, this guy is kind of literally the same player. Fantastic range. I think we'll go with this guy, to be honest. We'll meet his demand, which isn't very high. Oof, wow. Yeah, this draft is just not very good. I guess at this point, I might as well just go by OSA because literally none of these guys are really worth picking up, to be honest. Chase Wallace. He definitely is the best guy by far. Just looking at who's available here. Yeah, we'll do Chase Wallace. Then we'll go next on Baumeister. I think Enger was the other guy here that was pretty good. He was, so we'll go with him. Oh yeah, all these guys really kind of suck. All these aren't really anything that I would want. Steve Barthel now. Go back to our scouting director at this point, Randy Bednar. Payson Carson's who they want us to take. And just none of these guys are really that interesting. Batting potential ratings, see if we can just see anything by here. I think he's a two-way player, it looks like. His pitching ratings really don't look any interesting. His fielding ratings definitely do. And his hitting ratings kind of intrigue me a little bit. Connor Allen, not really. Who is this guy? Not really. Honestly, I think the two-way player is just kind of interesting, so we'll take him. Anybody with good power here? Wow, another two-way guy here. I don't know why he's put in here as like a pitcher, because he definitely looked way better as a hitting prospect. That was the other guy who we looked at. Yeah, I definitely like this Shane Muntz guy. You can go ahead and take him. The Trey Harmon is still here even. So I think honestly you're probably going to take him too. He's probably our other best bet. Maybe, or we'll look kind of here. It's pain you guys. See, yeah, all these guys, they're like they suck. Like their pitching ratings suck, that is. They don't look like, they look like much like more valuable hitters. We got pitching potential maybe here. Just like some guys with nasty stuff. Christian Chamberlain here. He's semi-interesting. Now we'll take Chamberlain. Maybe survive velocity here. Yeah, literally just nothing else here is even that interesting. So we're just going to go ahead and complete the draft. And then we're going to go ahead and negotiate with our guys. Okay, yeah, it looks like we don't even have to negotiate with really any of these guys. So that actually won't be a problem. I definitely want to simulate to see. Okay, so yeah, I was putting Lowe in here. I think I forced him to start, which I did, which I definitely want to happen. Because I definitely don't want Hampson getting those ABs. Even though he was good in the minors, I'm not sure, I just don't want him there. And it's not even really giving him literally any other at-bats anywhere else. So I'm not too bad of a look there. Cueto. I think we just let him take the start today, and then if it's bad, he's just gonna. Yeah, it was awful to say the least. So we're just gonna. Yeah, I don't even know why I did that. We're just gonna DFA him. That'll be that. Something that I'm definitely gonna try to do here is watch the waiver wire a little closer than I have in the past, because I feel like I normally don't really watch it as close as I should, and I probably missed out on some guys. Paredes here, we're gonna get him up immediately. He's been a guy he hasn't even really pitched well in the minors, but he's 26. His ratings look absolutely incredible. And we just need to see what we have in him. So he's gonna go up immediately, and he should slot into the rotation. We'll get a day in here. I need to turn off the trade notifications because they're useless and I never look at them. But it should put him. No, they didn't even put him in the rotation. Put him in long relief. But Wallace, which is kind of interesting. I don't really like his ratings nearly as much, but we'll just kind of ride that out for now, I guess. That won't be too much of a problem. So yeah, the next time. Actually, no. Do I want to end the episode now? Probably not. And also, I think we should just take a look at kind of some of our guys coming up, since I really haven't covered that. Taylor Trammell. Ooh, I forgot about him. Yeah, he's gonna be up sometime this year. Yeah. So actually, I'm kind of interested. Oh, Josh. Well, it looks like he's actually gonna be coming up now because Josh Lowe just went down. Wow, he really just blew his chance. Well, I mean, of course he didn't do it, but him getting hurt is very fantastic for him, because he was about to get his chance to play pretty much every day. And now I'm interested to see how this shakes out. Yancy Almonte, his injury's over. Hampson. Okay, it's gonna play Trammell every fourth day, which I guess is fine, because he's also gonna get a lot of pinch hit at bats. So I guess it's fine. I don't really feel like making the force move at this point. because, I mean, he's going to play like every fourth day, and it's probably not fantastic for him to be playing literally every day at this point because, I mean, Hampton he does deserve those ABs, at least some ABs. So, yeah, we'll just leave it at that then. And then with that, I'll also go ahead and end the episode. I think I'm doing pretty well, honestly, on kind of uploading a little more frequently, and hopefully I'm able to continue that. I should be able to. I'm having a decent time playing the series, and really hope that I can take it as long as the Tag series, hopefully longer, hopefully until the next OOTP comes out, which would be pretty cool. So next episode we'll get kind of All-Star break, trade deadline, do all that kind of stuff. I'm not quite sure who I'd look to deal at this point. Maybe Marquez, honestly, but his value is probably not very high because he has been very good. Honestly, David Dahl might be good to deal because if we dealt him, then we could see what we would have in Lowe. We have Trammell, of course. We have Bornstein, who could probably replicate Dahl's success at least this year, because he's been pretty decent. Oberg, if he comes back and he's able to pitch for a while, we could probably trade him as well. He has a team option next year. And then if Garrett Richards could do anything, Senzatel, if he could do anything this year, we could probably look to move some of those veteran pitchers, maybe get some young guys up, see them a little bit. Maybe we would even deal Chris Taylor. I'm not sure if I do that. It definitely depends. I definitely want to move either Taylor or Dahl, because of course Lowe's hurt now, and actually might work out perfectly. So when Lowe gets back, we could deal one of these guys, which would, in the month of July, which would open up a spot for Lowe in the outfield, open up a spot for Trammell in the outfield. So both of those guys could be getting pretty much everyday ABs, which I definitely want, because I definitely want to see what we have in them, because we should be turning the corner. At least I feel like we should be turning the corner in a year or two. And wow, McMahon was 4.2 in arbitration next year. I don't even know how that works. I'm just seeing that now. But yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. But so yeah, that'll end the episode. Next time we'll be back with the trade deadline. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next episode.